All right. So, because my opinion is super coveted in the space of YouTube, I feel like it'd be a disservice to this platform if I didn't give my opinion on the greatest show or the greatest sport in the world, not even just the United States. So, the college football playoff, obviously, I'm kind of late to the party with all this, but um, I have plenty of hot takes with this. So, first of all, the first thing you have to go through is these two right here. BYU played in a conference championship game and they're out. But Alabama didn't move a damn slot. What like what are we doing? What do we do? Like if you're gonna have Alabama in, that's fine. That's cool. Like drop. I would say you still drop them a little bit. Like drop them to like 10 or not like. Well, that's what I'm saying. So like no, I actually okay. No, take back what I was just saying. If you're just gonna have Alabama in, you have to put in BYU as well because that just amplifies the SEC bias like crazy. Like you have to like Alabama got their ass whooped by Georgia. That game wasn't even close. The score I don't even know what the hell the score was. Alabama Georgia SEC championship. I didn't even type that in right. SEC championship. What was the final score to this thing? Cuz dude, okay, this is not even popping up right, but what was the final score? Of course, they just don't have it. That's crazy. But what I'm trying to say is like like, okay, where is this at? Come on, like, what are we doing? What, what the hell is this? I don't want basketball. Football. Yeah, jeez. Yeah. What did that say? That said 28. Yeah, dude, 28-7. This game wasn't not close at all. This game was insanely, like it just highlighted how inferior, you know, Alabama is to Georgia. So like, I just cannot believe that this was even like the fact that they didn't move at all is insane. That they just and which is fine. It's insane, but if you're gonna do that, then you have to treat all of the conference championship runner-ups the same. Like you have to put in BYU. They lost to one team the twice. Give it they lost to them twice. They lost to Texas Tech twice, but you you can't leave them out and keep Alabama in. You cannot do that. Like BYU got their doors ripped off right by Texas Tech, but the difference is like that their two losses are from the same team. Texas Tech, for all we know, might be in the January 19th game in the national championship. They might win it all. Like this team is good. This team is really freaking good. It'll be I'd love to see the Texas Tech Indiana game. That'd be super cool to see. But just by putting in Alabama but not BYU is insane to me. People are like, oh, what about Notre Dame? I think Notre Dame's getting way too much publicity on this. I didn't think that they were in at all, just because they're not in a conference. There has to be a some type of downside to not being in a conference because I just like not being in a conference is only an asymmetric bet up for Notre Dame. Like whenever they make the playoff, instead of them having to divvy out the payments that they get from the CFP, Notre Dame just gets all of it because they don't have to send it to a conference. Whereas all these other teams that are in a conference, they get payment for it, but it goes to their conference first, and they get the separate or they get the what is it? Their cut of like what the school is, right? So like the fact that Notre Dame is not in a conference at all, I think there has to be some type of downside to it. So leaving them out of the playoff, I think, was the right move. Like they're obviously they're obviously pissed off and like just fussing and punching air right now, and they can't. They went really they. absolutely went berserker mode by um, just saying, yeah, we're not playing in any type of bowl game, but I don't think that they should have been even close to being in. Like, say, like, they didn't play anybody. They played two ranked teams, I guess, but, like, they're not super impressive. They lost to these two teams right here that are in the playoff. It's not that hard. But BYU being out is insane to me. Like, you can't keep Alabama in and BYU out. Like, here's the thing: if you keep Alabama in, you got to put in BYU. If you keep Miami in, then you gotta consider Notre Dame there as well. I think if you keep Notre Dame in, you keep Miami. If you keep Bama, you gotta put in BYU just to keep the principal argument there, where it's like if you play in a conference championship, that should not be um, looked down upon. And I think that there was a lot of life insurance policies. For Alabama, like prior to this, because they were ranked ninth and they just didn't move. I think the committee saw that coming, like saying like, "Hey, Alabama is gonna get their asses absolutely torn up by Georgia, so we have to like make sure that they're ranked ahead already." Like again, that's the bias right there. It's like they ranked them high enough to where like if they get their asses beat, which they did, then they don't have to drop them because well they're already in and they've already said like well the conference championship doesn't move you, but that's bullshit because it moved for BYU. Why are we giving this team so much preferential treatment over this team? I don't get it. Because again, like BYU is playing Texas Tech, and Texas Tech again, I still think they could win it all. They have insane talent. The oil money there in West Texas from the Permian Basin is definitely showing on their roster. So they easily might win it all. So the fact that BYU's only two losses are from this team twice, yeah, they should be in. They should be in over Miami, in my opinion, because Miami didn't even make their conference championship, and they made it in. Like I still like the fact that BYU is not in over Miami is insane. But anyway, that's my biggest rant within this. I think everything else is pretty much right. Um, Oregon, I think, has an easy pathway through if Oregon is who we think they are, right? Um, James Madison, Tulane. The rules are going to change. The rules are going to change to where it's going to be like um, you get in like because the rule is the five highest ranked conference champions. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be the five highest ranked conference championships or conference champions, but within the top 15. So there's a barrier of entry of like, well, yes, we'll take the top five conference champions, no questions asked, if you're in the top 15, because that would take out Tulane and James Madison, and then look at that, you have both BYU, and then if you want to throw in Notre Dame, you can. But if like say that rule like if there's not enough if there's not enough of the fives in the top 15, then it just turns into an at large. So yeah, so like basically five conference champions in the top 15. If that rule nullifies, it just turns into an at large bid. Which then it would be Notre Dame and BYU, which is next. So. Yeah, I think obviously Oregon is going to play Texas Tech. I hope to God that Oklahoma just beats Notre Dame, or beats not Notre Dame, beats. I hope Oklahoma beats the absolute crap out of Alabama. I think that'd be so cool to see. And then this game will be super interesting with Oklahoma and Indiana. That is they're the same colors. Look at that. That's cool. But yeah, no, that I just hope Oklahoma just destroys Alabama. It'd be fun to see. Ole Miss, Tulane, Deep South rivalry that I don't know where they're at. I mean, obviously Tulane's in New Orleans, but I don't know how far away it is from Ole Miss. But anyway, it's still within that same region. So, but yeah, no, Ole Miss is gonna, they're gonna roll them again. This one's the most interesting. I think, honestly, Texas Tech has been getting really disrespected recently, so I think they're just gonna beat Miami. I don't know if it's gonna be like lopsided, right? I think Miami's a good team. They're very talented as well, but Texas Tech is gonna like come with some firepower because I think they're kind of getting disrespected a little bit since they got destroyed by their one loss was to Texas, right? I think so. So yeah, it'll be so. Oregon against Texas Tech. I think that's an interesting game actually because I think Texas Tech is really good, but Oregon's got some speed and all that too. They got money as well. I think I'm still gonna take. I think I'm gonna take Texas Tech honestly over Oregon in that. So, and then Oklahoma, Indiana. So, yeah, Indiana's the best team. They're definitely like. And then Texas Tech, Indiana. That's a toss up game for me. I think it's gonna be Indiana, but it's gonna be a close game. So Indiana's in the championship, and then Ole Miss versus Georgia. Georgia's going to destroy them. And then I said Texas A&M. So then Ohio State's going to beat Texas A&M. And then you got Ohio State, Georgia. This is a real toss-up game. Um, I think it's going to be... I'm going to pick Georgia here. I think I'm going to pick Georgia here just because I think they're more battle-tested. I don't know who they played. Let's see. Georgia football schedule. Let's see. Bro, why do they show me basketball? I type in football and it says basketball. That's crazy. Alright, let's see this. Okay, so what do we got here? We got Marshall layup game. Tennessee, Bama. Bama, yeah, see they lost. That's a battle tested game right there. So Kentucky, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, Mississippi State, Texas is a good game. Georgia Tech, that's a rivalry, and then they play out. Yeah, so I just think that. Yeah, I just think Georgia's more battle tested than Ohio State because the only team that Ohio State's Ohio State's most impressive win is over Texas, and we all know how Texas turned out to be. So, and outside of that, we go to Ohio State's football schedule. Let's just check out what they were sitting at. How do I see the other games? Let's just look at this like this. Yeah, so Texas, and then layup game. Decent team, but not great. Not on Ohio State's level. Dog shit. Illinois is a good team, but not on Ohio State's level. Not on Ohio State's level at all. They're awful. Penn State fell apart with the firing of their head coach and stuff. So Purdue, yeah, I mean the schedule is nothing. Michigan, but Michigan was dealing with obviously Sherrone Moore is basically preoccupied with everything. So again, I don't think Ohio State, outside of the Texas game and I guess maybe the Michigan game, but again, Michigan was dealing with Sherrone Moore being Sherrone Moore with the allegations. I just don't think that they're as battle tested as Georgia. So yeah, I'm gonna take Georgia here. So I think it's gonna be Georgia, Indiana. I think is what I said in the national championship, and I think that's gonna be a crazy good game. I'm gonna take Indiana for that. I think Indiana is just the best team. Curt Cignetti's awesome. He's so likable. He's so funny. I saw an interview with him where he's being asked how he prepped his team. Is the girl asked him basically it's yeah, so how do you get your guys ready for this tough matchup and this scary opponent in I don't know who they're playing, but maybe it was Ohio State, and so yeah, she said yeah, he said that, and then he's he looked at her, he's you can't be scared, and then walked away. I'm that dude's awesome. That dude is so cool. I need to find it. Can't be scared. Let's see if it pops up. Of course not, but no, dude, I freaking love Curt Cignetti. Yeah, dude, look at them. But no, he basically was yeah, no, you can't be scared. Dude, this guy's Squidward, bro. He always looks like Squidward. I can't see Squidward being mad. Curt Cignetti. I saw this on Twitter and I was dying. Where was it? It kind of looks like him, bro. There's a picture of him Like, yes, dude. Cursing Nettie's so mad. Squidward looking at us, dude. I love Signetti, dude. I think he's like the coolest coach ever. He says it how it is. Google me. He's awesome. Yeah, this is Indiana's year for sure. Um, like they're the most like for sure team. So yeah, that's my opinions of this whole thing. BYU should be in. I mean, they would get their blood. Don't get me wrong. Like BYU, they should be in, but they would get smoked by Texas A&M. We don't know that for sure. Obviously, they still need to be in to show that, but like they should be in, right? But yeah, that's kind of my opinions of all this. Indiana's gonna win it. Texas Tech will make it interesting. Georgia is a heavy contender too. Ohio State's not as battle tested as any of these other teams. You could say the same thing about Texas Tech, but Texas Tech just looks sweet. I like them. I like the Permian Basin money out there in West Texas is showing there. So, but yeah, that's good. That's I'm gonna end the video here. Yeah, we'll see you.